So tell me about your experience so far in the Addis Foto Festival. What have you...
What I've really enjoyed, Andy, the most important thing was the 2 weeks prior to today, where I did the workshop with these three, not students really, three photographers who live here in Addis. Kacho, Yemani, and Goitem. And the Kacho is the oldest, Yemani and Goitem. And they really, I worked with them one-on-one, one day with one photographer, and they took me around in a particular area of Addis, Piazza, or Mercato, the market, or Bole, and the Kacho took us to his area, Arat Kilo. And through their eyes, I began to see and understand Addis. And then it was a give and take, and always an exchange, really, because they are mature photographers. So the workshop became a kind of a learning process for all of us. And then very good vibes here with all of you at the office, and with Ida. Really, I must give big praise to Ida because she's really got this all together, with Thomas as well, and Fabian, everybody. So it's been a wonderful time. And I wrote to some friends yesterday. I find Addis a magical place. I think it's the altitude. The people are gentle. Not everybody, of course. They're gentle, and there's still a kind of human, still is a human sense of balance still in the city. There are very few high rises. The traffic is more or less gentle, and even the markets. There's not a hustle and bustle like in Lagos or many other big cities in the world. Although Addis is not really a big city, it only has 3.4 million or 3.5 million, which is still quite a sizable population. So it's been very, very positive. I've had one or two sort of minor things with the police but that's, it's no big deal.
Okay, do you see the potential of this Addis Foto Festival attracting new photographers?
Andy, it's a very important question. I really hope so. It's so important, and what Ida has done, her vision is so important because it expands photography in this part of Africa, in Ethiopia, of course, but also along the eastern, so this is called a Rift Valley, and it's so important. And it's a growing process. And she said she wants to do it every year. Initially, I felt this was too much. I still might talk with her about this, because I think 2 years would be better. But it's so important, and I really hope it expands. My first portfolio review today was with a young guy called Laikon, who is actually an artist coming into photography. This is very interesting, and it expands because photography is much more than just images. It's a whole ballgame. It's like music. It's a whole ballgame, and there's so many things coming into it. And so I really hope it continues. Definitely continues and grows. And it's, I think, the second, third, fourth, actually not just photographic annual on the continent, but it's so important because all these things come together, and it grows and it enhances the whole cultural, artistic growth on the continent.
Okay, in terms of what you're bringing to the festival and the things that you've been working on in terms of developing a subject matter for the festival, what can you tell us about that?
Well, I also did what do you call it? During the workshop with the students, I was also photographing in Addis, and I come already from years and years of engaging with big cities. Addis is relatively big, and so I continued here. And hopefully we're having a show on Thursday, The Sweet Sound of Quiet Footsteps, where I've tried to also show the images of the three photographers I was working with, and also my own photographs as well. And it's very much an engagement. This time I'm trying to think of a title. It's like I'm trying to read Addis, trying to understand Addis. Yeah, read Addis, understand it, trying to hear the sounds. But it's not the sounds we normally hear, but the deeper sounds, the deeper harmonics, which elephants, and give when they sound, and we human beings do as well. So I'm trying to. It's like I'm trying to uncover the layers of the city, the religious layers, the layers now. They're trying to modernize the city, a lot of buildings that are tearing down some old parts of the city. All this I'm trying to photograph.
Okay, I'm not sure if you've been to Africa Remix and other festivals or symposiums, but in terms of having African photographers and Africans from the diaspora, and I'm sure you've interacted with folks from various festivals, have you seen a connection with the Africans from the diaspora and the Africans who live here on this continent?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always aware of this. I mean, I am supposed to be a kind of diasporic African because I live in Germany, and I was in Africa Remix and I've been to other symposiums and biennials. It's happening here too. It's very, very important. I don't like the word so much diaspora because it implies that two. It's all one. It's all one. And in fact, I like to think of the whole earth as our home, be it in South America, Australia, so, and we're all together. And we should think more like this. And obviously, we have a particular history. We all have particular histories, and we, especially with the black skin and so on, have a particular history again. But we can engage with other histories and come together. So I love this thing of bringing us from different parts of the world together, and it's continuing, growing as well.
Mm. I don't want to refer to terminologies again, Eurocentric, Afrocentric, but your Afrocentric ways, I'm not sure if I can say that, but how would you compare being in Europe as a black photographer as opposed to being in Africa as a black photographer?
For me, there's no difference, but it's because I think it's so important to find yourself. And once you found yourself, which for me is very much, it's like centering or grounding yourself, then you know who you are and what you want, or in my particular case, what I want to see, what I want to say. So be it in Berlin, or in London, or in Barcelona, these are cities I love, Rome, or be it here in Addis, or in Lagos, or in South Africa, or be it anywhere, it's very much my own vision, but I try not to be prejudiced. I try not to be imposed. Rather, again, like I'm doing here, I try to understand. So you stand under. I think it's very important. I love reggae music, you too. And there's sort of overstanding, understanding. And this understanding is a deep word, I feel, because you stand under the heavens, the light, and you try to understand, really grasp what it's all about. I'm not Ethiopian, obviously, but at the same time, I feel Ethiopian, and I feel as being what you call a citizen of Addis, and I enjoy it. But it's more than just enjoyment, going in deeper, trying to understand the vibes of children, of the women, of the men, of the vegetation, everything. But then, in my case, it's visually. So I was thinking of the word reinterpreting, but I don't like the word reinterpreting. But there is that aspect.
Mm.